What's up, Rube? It's Little Big Robots here, talking today about this fun little 30 minutes missions kit. Yes, I talk a lot about 30 minutes missions, but they do release a lot of stuff. This is one of my top kits. I put on my 20 top of all time. It's a bit early to say that, but there's a lot of reasons why I really like this. This is the 1/144 scale Acerby Type B. Basically, in 30 minutes missions, there's 3 different factions. You know, and this one happens the Maxion, which are my favorite, kind of have the more humanoid-looking giant bots, to the point that they're like a ninja. They're like a girl kit in a way. If you know the 30 minutes missions, they talk about the 30 minute sisters kits that have a feminine shape and everything like that, and they have all this customization. Really fun stuff. I haven't even tried a 30 minutes missions sisters kit. I need to try one because I had a viewer say they were really good. I've heard good things about them, and I definitely want to try them. As usual, 30 minutes missions gives you English, gives you a ton of options. The idea is that these take about 30 minutes to complete, and they do give or take. And they have 30 millimeter holes or parts in them so that you can add customization really easy. So you could take a big gun and slap it on it just with a little attach. And it's kind of like a universal system. What I really like about this is that if you know the game Sky, it's a game. There was a game called Journey on PlayStation, I believe, and the company that made that, I think they're called Sky Company. That game company, I can't remember what they're called. Made Sky, which is on. It's going to be on PC soon. It's on Switch and on mobile. And you're basically playing a character that kind of looks like this. I mean, a much more cartoony version, but I love how this looks. It's a little tedious to put together, and I'll take it apart to show you. But basically, you have the Acerby Type B kit, which is the female kit here with like the ponytail. And this cloth stuff is a cloth add-on, $10, like how 30 minutes missions will have like a shield add-on or like a gun pack that you can buy. This is cloth, pieces of cloth. Now, what I'm confused about, I'll need to read about it, is the Maxion forces. Are they the same kind of giant robot size as the other ones? And we're supposed to see that this is kind of a, 40-foot tall robot or whatever that has cloth on. I don't know what that's about, but either way, just as a character figure, I love that. I love toys that can work as a standalone character. So if I was to set that down on a shelf, people would see that and be like, their imagination would run wild with it. So this is a really good kit for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can disassemble it, the cloth, because it does get a little tedious, and it can. I think you take her head off. Let's go ahead and leave this on that. And it was a little bit hard to get right, but once you got it right, it was good. So you got like a neck piece that you could already use on all sorts of other kits or models or action figures, whatever. You add it on here. Let me pull this off first and I'll show you. The sleeves, you basically put a little additional add-on. You can take that off if you want, and that will attach to that. So on this one, the little ball joint got left over, but that's fine. Let's pull this off. So it really comes off really easy. So once you assemble the cape, it stays assembled, so you don't have to keep assembling it, because when I was putting it together, you had to put piece, you can see in there, piece, and it was kind of hard to tell from the instructions, but it worked out fine. So that's your little cloak that you could probably use on almost any figure, but I think it's really meant for the Acerby. That's when they show, that's when they show a lot with it. So this is their new, where I normally talk about the Spinacios, which I love a lot. They're kind of a humanoid figure, very thin like this. This is the Acerby, which I think is, like I said, going to be more of a feminine looking kit. I don't know if the 30 Minute Sisters are even more feminine than this, like they have more of a filled out shape or whatever, I don't know. But this is this one, and I thought it just looked really cool. The face reminds me of the Sarah doll from Build Divers, which is really fun. You could paint that. The eyes are a nice green, see-through plastic, so you can imagine if those were lit up or if you had them in a special light, you could probably do some cool stuff with that. You might be able to swap that color out or paint underneath it to change how it looks. But typically these guys are so posable, and there's no real point in going through all the articulation. I hate that part in videos. Those parts in videos, it's just boring. But if you can think about it with these guys, typically you can do it. I mean, you know, it's really nuts. That's what's fun about these, is they just have a lot of really cool options for doing all sorts of neat poses and things. You know, it's just a fun line. It's a great line. You can see how obvious the knee is, but it doesn't go too forward. But I love that they just keep it simple. This little joint, double-sided joint, it almost looks, sometimes it looks almost too big, but it's a cool, like a representation of the human knee. The human knee is bulky right there and everything, and it just serves a purpose. I'm not real fond of her feet. They're a little bit too small for me. I don't like mecha with, you know, tiny feet. It just doesn't feel like, not that I would say realistic, but it feels kind of weird. You know, how they're going to run around on little tippy toes. But for this type of a figure, I think it definitely works. The waist is way thin for my taste. But again, what I like about that is in the future, you know, they're going to have, they already have some materials that are super duper strong and could hold up easily in that center area. But there's no real reason to have it that thin other than just have like a more feminine looking shape. But I thought that was really, really cool. They have different colors of this same kit as they normally do. Here we go. So there's the Acerby and just different armors and stuff like that. There's a Spinacia, which I think the Spinacia is the male version. This is the female version. They have different, like I said, different colors and stuff. They have one I have in there I need to build with two ponytails on the side. But this was the one that was advertised, or that showed on the cloth armor expansion pack thing. So I just went ahead and got her. But just for the price of these guys, you have this cool little figure you can sit on your shelf. I'm going to put her back on the cloth because the cloth looks so cool. But even without it, that face is so weird looking. So, you know, uncanny valley, but fun. They don't try to hide the fact that she's a bot. You can see the joints and stuff. It's just a really cool kit. So anyway, I thought you might want to take a look at that. Go pick one of these up if you haven't already. You can order them really, really cheap if you keep an eye out. A lot of these Spinacio and Spinacias and all these kind of humanoid kits from 30 minutes missions, and really all 30 minutes kits, eventually go on sale, I notice. Like, they just get cheap all of a sudden. So keep an eye out for those. But anyway, have a good day, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.